rolling. Alrighty, welcome to the eSports Rundown, episode 4. After a long hiatus, getting some stuff together for the summer, and we're gonna be talking COD eSports Season 3. We got some roster change updates, as well as just some general competitive play news, and then we're also gonna be going into the second half of our show. We'll be going into League of Legends Worlds and just some general discussion on what's going to be going up tomorrow and Sunday. Some very big important matches coming up. So to kick things off, I got my co-hosts here, Jeff and Rimmingen. How you guys doing?
Hey guys.
What up?
Alrighty, well we're gonna kick it off here with COD. So you guys take it away. What's going on in COD eSports Season 3?
A few weeks ago we had a situation where players pretty much in league matches were getting hit offline, which messed up some matches. Some teams won that probably shouldn't have. So MLG decided to do a restart. With the restart, each team is pretty much a round robin between all 12 teams. Everybody will play each other once, and then everybody is invited to the Season 3 playoff in Columbus, and then they will play there for the Season 3 championship.
You said everyone is invited to the playoffs?
Yeah,
So
all 12 teams
all 12 teams that are in the league are all going to the playoffs.
All 12 teams are invited to the playoff because they wiped away the standings from before. So that means all 12 teams are going to get invited. They're going to be there. They're going to be able to compete and win the Season 3 tournament. As of right now, at the top of the league is Envy, FaZe, Isolation Esports, and Denial Esports, all 2-1. And Optic surprise. Oh, Optic hasn't played yet. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was about to say Optic hasn't won a game yet. They haven't played a game yet. Why?
that helps. That helps to win one.
Yeah, that helps. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the reset and everything.
How far did they get into the season before they? Into the.
Oh, they were.
Quite a bit.
They were almost halfway through.
Halfway through,
I would say. Because they changed it from, I think it was 48 games in the season to 22.
Okay.
And they were probably about 9 or 10 matches in, maybe 11.
Okay.
And
so
then
about halfway through.
I'm sorry, yeah, about halfway through.
Good they didn't get all the way to the very end, because then that,
yeah.
By that point,
Yeah.
teams definitely know who's going to be the clear-cut victors for the most part. So.
Yeah.
And that does give a chance out to the lesser, well, not the lesser teams, but the teams that were struggling a bit before all the DDoSing issues were happening. Because a team like Epsilon, who started the season awfully last time around, I think they were 0-8 when it happened.
No, they were 1-7. They won a match.
1-7, okay.
Get it right, the G.
1-7, then went.
They squeezed one out.
Hey,
so
they beat
didn't
TCM.
Yeah, beat TCM in round 11. But they started off quite horribly last time, and it wouldn't have been ideal, and they probably wouldn't have went it through into the Season 3 playoffs. Whereas this time around, because all 12 teams are invited, it's just done for a seeding system. And they might not finish in the top 8 again, but they will be attending the event. And on LAN, it's a totally different thing from online. So it might not eradicate the 0-8 completely, but they might have a bit of a better showing there.
Yeah,
and that's just one team, for example.
I think this is going to be like the continuing story for as long as MLG does playoffs online. You know what I mean? It's always going to be like this. I know that they've got a facility in, what is it, Columbus, Ohio, I believe is where MLG
in Columbus now.
Facility. It's like a 50,000 square foot or maybe even bigger warehouse or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that's very similar to what Riot has. You know what I mean? Where they have I think it's 10 teams now. I think in the league. You know, they need to do something like that.
I think the only problem is with the main difference between Call of Duty and League of Legends is League of Legends, yeah, you have a bunch of kids playing. When I say kids, like 17 and under that are still in high school. Mm-hmm. But in Call of Duty, because they are such a big impact within Call of Duty esports, like you look at Huke, you look at
Scump
Tim.
2 years ago.
Scump, yeah, Scump started out. He was still in high school.
Yeah.
Because these kids are able to play and compete at such a young age, it's really hard for MLG to put themselves in a situation where they can have something like Riot.
Not
Um,
just that. I mean, it'd be Riot foots the bill for everything that goes
yeah,
on.
and
Yeah,
that's also
MLG
MLG
doesn't
had
have that kind of money to like
yeah,
they're
MLG
already
doesn't have the
having
money.
issues. So
Activision
if
is not
Activision
just a
stepped,
Call of
if
Duty.
Activision
Yeah,
stepped up, that'd be badass. I mean,
Activision
that's really
is
what they
just
would need
Call
is
of
something
Duty.
like that to take it.
Activision is so much more
You
than
know.
Call of Duty, but people don't think about that. They're competing against EA,
Hmm.
Ubisoft,
Hmm.
2K. They have so many other things they're trying to worry about. So Activision, they're interested in it, but they're not going to go fully into it because they have so many different games that they also are worried about,
Yeah.
and developers as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just it's just unfortunate though because it would be interesting to see what a streamlined real league would look like now that
Uh,
you have blueprints for it and other was it Smite and like all the rest of them that are doing
yeah,
it now. You know what I'm saying? That are getting involved. Dota is obviously extremely organized. You know what I'm saying to
so
that.
boring.
It, but hey, their community has it together. You know what I mean? They have the
I know.
backing. So I mean, it's a mute issue. I know, but still, that would But at least they're inviting everyone that had issues to
Yeah,
the playoffs because I mean, I
and
couldn't imagine.
really because the way it was happening. Like Optic lost a match against Rise, who was lower middle of the league at the time. They lost a match to him 3-1, but that's because the match that they could have won to take it to game five, Formal lagged out in hardpoint.
Mm.
yeah the
So they
last 10 seconds when you're
yeah,
still up.
seconds, Rise gets in hill, holds it, and wins the match and closes it out. Like you can't have that. But because it's online, that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's not the last time it's
There's
gonna happen. It's gonna happen again at some point.
yeah, dude.
it's not the first time, won't be the last time.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
that's online is just it's such a bad measurement of who's good and who's not.
Yeah.
That's why I mean it's thank God they're doing some. They have a land component to this though, so it's definitely a lot more fair for the players. All right, what else do we have in COD Esports? Do we have some roster changes or something like that? I know there was some other stuff on the docket here that we needed to get through.
Yeah, a couple roster changes as far as the North American Pro League. Swanee decided to go back to Europe.
Okay.
Um, you, yeah, Epsilon now has two teams. They have a North American team and a UK team. Swanee decided to go back to the UK or the EU team, and then they brought on Parasite to replace them. So far, they're 1-2 in the league. They did look better, but they still had points from the matches I've seen from them so far. They just kind of fell apart either in the middle or the end of matches. But something that I didn't see from them before, at the end of matches, they would pick it up, especially in the one match they did win. Who'd they beat? It was Optic Nation they beat. Can't remember. Um, but one of the matches they won, they were able to bring it back in a couple of hard points, and in the S&D they were down and came back. So they're still a good team. They still have a lot of work to do, but they're
Not much
I
you
think
can
it,
do though with when you go
better.
back to their
They're a
home. You know.
little better. Parasite's a really smart player. His only problem is he doesn't tend to get along with people on his team
He
because
doesn't tend to want to listen to anybody else's tactics.
it's, it's Parasite's way of the highway, which, in all honesty, I feel like Parasite is a top 5 player. He just, because of his attitude, he will never be on a top team
Yeah,
again.
on
He'll
the
have
on the flip
team.
side though, man, a lot of the great players are like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In basketball, dude, if you talk to anybody that was on the Bulls, dude, like Michael Jordan was like,
yeah,
just give me the ball, bro.
yeah.
Like, there is no play,
But
Phil. Give me the ball. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Parasite's a good addition for the team. I mean, he was voted the S&D MVP in season one and season two, so he's also a great player in that and a great leader in S&D throughout, as well as the respawn modes. He's more aggressive on the barrel roll than Swanee is, I feel, which I think is much more needed in a fast-paced game like this. And we did make the point that he does take the leadership role a bit too seriously, and he'll not let anyone criticise him. But his three teammates, they're not the most experienced of teammates. They're not a Crimswitz or a Clayster. They're guys who have made their name but haven't quite cemented themselves yet. So they will
have to
listen to him a lot
Yeah,
more and
yeah.
look under his guidance. So
As
I
long as
would
it's
say
not
it's a
killing the
good.
team, because
Yeah.
we know that shit doesn't work. That's fireworks. Alrighty. So, any other big team changes or anything before we wrap up, COD?
TCM also made a change. Moose, I think, is headed back to the EU. I just heard about this last night when I was watching their league match against FaZe. I don't know if he left or if they dropped him.
Okay.
So he's going back to the EU,
They're
and they
definitely going
picked
back
up
though.
Fears. So now TCM is
Not official
comprised
yet.
of. Oh, well,
It's going to be, but it's not
Acceptable.
official.
But as of last night when I saw that roster, it was Fears, Aches, TP, and Jerd from who's the remaining EU player for TCM.
Okay.
So I mean, Aches and TP have a history together, obviously, but they also have a history with Fears back in MW3 a little
I was
bit,
about to say Modern Warfare
Black
3 a
Ops
little
2.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So those
winning
three have teamed
first.
together, and they've been very successful. So they're hoping possibly they can spark something if that
They
team.
did beat
I
FaZe
think
last
even
night.
Karma was playing with them quite a bit back then too, as well. Modern Warfare 3, because Karma wasn't at the same level yet. I mean, he
No.
was rising up. I remember I even played him in a GB match and stuff before before he got huge. So, alrighty. So TCM big changes. Anybody else?
No, that's pretty much it.
The only other thing is Watson, who impressed at Gfinity last one. He's picked up by the American team Dream Team, which is a huge step because they're not one of the league
Wow,
teams. They're not one of the league teams.
that.
So he won't be getting a salary to be playing there, so I don't know what his circumstances are. But he will be playing on that team for the time being. Whether or not he'll be making a step up, I don't want to insult the Dream Team, but they're not going to be a solid league team like Rise Nation, for example,
Yeah.
or teams like that. So if he could manage to get onto one of those teams, even if he was teaming with Apathy on Rise, that would be a big thing for him because that would be
Yeah.
two great Slayers, and he would have the benefit of a reassured playing time rather than with the league. If you're not in it, you're just reduced to playing scrims, which not many top teams do publicly anymore on stream, or playing the smaller tournaments, which are fine, but it's kind of hard to make a living off of them.
Oh, absolutely.
So his main aim will be to get into the league, either with DT or by way of a trade.
Alrighty.
That's an interesting. No,
Yeah, it is. It is.
I didn't.
We'll have to-
I didn't
we'll
know
have to
he
stay
came
on that.
over.
Yeah, we'll have to
Crazy.
stay on that and see what happens on the next episode for sure. Alrighty, well, we're gonna wrap up Coding. Last thoughts, comments, real quick before we move on to league.
Expand the league to 14 teams and start another league under UMG with 20. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, you heard it from Jeff Sundance. Get her done.
He's not gonna do it. He's not even gonna watch this. You could do so much better
We'll just mail it to him once a day. This clip
until he actually watches it. Then he'll be like,
On-
"Who's this
on
kid? Shut
floppy
up!
Disks. Oh, get him on floppy disks.
What am I gonna do with this?"
All right.